I first heard about the fairy potato on a wild edibles tour with Alan Muskat.
This is what I call fairy potatoes. It's commonly known as cinnamon vine. If you have kids, you can make little fairy French fries.
The very next day, I literally ran into the same plant.
It's a wild yam, technically. If you ever heard of wild yam for medicine, this is the same genus.
So I started gathering them, and I roasted them in the oven with olive oil and salt, and they were delicious.
So fairy potato is a name I made up, but it's a little bit dangerous, right?
I found out on the internet they're mostly called air potatoes, but I got a little scared reading the Google results because it came up that some species were poisonous. So I wrote back to Alan Muskat, and he said no, the poisonous ones are really in Florida. But he said I should talk with Doug Elliott, a local storyteller and herbalist.
Well, I'm interested in any way we can connect with the natural world. And, of course, eating things is one of our most important uses for the natural world.
And then Doug said I should talk with Clyde Hollifield.
Old friend Clyde Hollifield said, well, now you know about the little people. They live out there in the woods. Now, there's big people who grow our taters under the ground. And them little people, they grow their taters above the ground.
My name's Clyde Hollifield, former puppeteer, community college instructor, wood carver, instrument builder. I'm part Cherokee myself, like everybody here.
So how do you know about, you call them air potatoes?
I know them by that name, but the Cherokee name for them is Noonie, N-U-N-I.
Really?
Noonie, yeah.
I thought they came over from China.
I don't know. They may have named them after they got here.
Doug also said I should speak with Chinese history professor Dongping Han, who knows of the air potato from his experience growing up with it in China.
My name is Dongping Han. I teach at Warren Wilson College. The plant in Chinese called shanyao. Actually, the term, the shan means mountain, yao means medicine. In China, we mostly eat roots. The small potatoes, the Chinese people in the New Year time, they will dip these air potatoes into sugar, so cook them. So you can buy on the stick on the streets.
It is awfully small, but it's so small that it would have to be the potato of the second little people down. You know, little people have little people too, right? Are you aware of that?
I mean, we have
little people, but then they have little people who may have little people, on down the stair steps. Who knows how far? I don't know. But
Are you referring to fairies or?
No, Cherokee little people were not exactly like fairies. They were more like little people. They had the same lifestyle, but they were mythological, I guess you'd say, or magical. And very similar to European little people, they lived underground or under the rivers or in rock piles.
If you read the medical book, it's good for everything almost. It can really restore your health, balancing qi inside your body.
A lot of Native American people of all cultures, all tribes, will not discuss the little people. It's taboo, but firmly believe in them, but do not discuss them, particularly with outsiders, because it's dangerous and it's a spiritual thing, and it's you would definitely never claim to have seen one or have had dealings with one.
When I was growing up, this is one of the most important plants my extended family grew, and we cook them with chicken meat, and it's one of the important dish for important guests. If you go to China today in the restaurant in the summer, they will skin, they slice into very thin slices. They stir fry with meat and other vegetables. It's one of the most delicious dish, and a lot of people also put them in the soup.
I guess I'm just trying to get at, did you draw the connection between the air potato and little people, or did you hear someone else?
I probably just made that up. It's been years ago I would have done that. Sounds like something I would say.
If you try the roots, if you cook them, it's very sticky. I don't know where the stickiness come from, but once you touch the skin off, it's very sticky. It's very slippery. And the Chinese believe anything like that is good for your health. Yeah.
Dr. Han says he's not aware of this name, but when I looked up shanyo on the internet, I found that because of its tonic healing properties, the Chinese have another name for this plant: fairy food.